always feel in cooking that there are two key elements. You've got time on one hand and cost on the other, and most cooking involves some trade-off between the two. This is particularly the case with meat. Now, an everyday schedule can't accommodate slow cooking, but when I've got time, I really love to be able to go to the butcher and buy some almost forgotten cut of meat. May I have those two, do you think? There's knuckles there. Thank you. Always ready for a pig out. I present to you the pork knuckles. Now, I do admit that pork knuckles might seem quite a strange dinner to do when you have people round, but why be obvious? And now for the holy anointment, 2 teaspoons of salt. And indeed 1 teaspoon, generous, of caraway seeds and 2 cloves of garlic. And the garlic, minced like this, sort of forms the glue that binds the salt and caraway seeds together and helps stick it to the rind of the pork. I suppose it's really a bit more of a dry rub, but it's not really as if you need any oil on a pork knuckle. Time for the imbrication. Now, the idea here is to rub the salt and caraway and garlic in, getting it right inside some of these slits where the rind has been scored. I mean, you can see that this kind of chunky nugget of flesh is going to make a melting morsel. I think you can get 3 people per knuckle, especially since I'm going to surround the tin with quartered apples and wedged potatoes. I'm going to place these 2 beauties on the onions here, a couple of onions, to provide a kind of flavour platform. These need a quick blitz straight off in a hot oven, and I mean hot, 220, and then I can get on with chopping the apples and potatoes. There, now they are going to get a lot more cooking and crisped up, but for now, just tumble the apples and potatoes joyously about the tin. After they're all in, I'm going to give the knuckles 2 hours at a lower oven, 170, and this will just make the meat incredibly tender and succulent. And then a final really hot blitz at the end to make sure the crackling is really crunchy. And now, on top of the knuckles, apples and potatoes, a final flourish, some beer, dark ale. Not stout, something amber like this, look. And now, back these beauties go into the oven. Just need a moment to bask in all this bronze beauty. This needs a bit of patience, not my forte, but still, to transfer the apples and potatoes over to the board. I love the way these are suffused, not just with the pork fat, but with the beer that they've been braised with. Now, I know the pork knuckles take a long time to cook, but you don't need to do a thing while they're cooking. So, in fact, it's wonderfully lazy. And I'm being lazier still because I've got a friend laying the table for me. So I've left the onions in here. And I don't need to add anything but water. I mean, there's so much flavour in here anyway. In honour of the German inspiration for this meal, I've got some German mustard, some Tafelzimpf in a charming dimpled beer mug. That's how it came. That's done. An almost instant onion gravy.
Okay, well that all looks lovely. So I wanted to see what you've been... Oh my goodness.
Want some?
Yes, please. Really, of course.
We better not. Not too much, but...
What are the others having?
Not much, I should think.
Try and give me a bun.
Okay, listen, I'm going to take this in. You... Okay, you can follow up my ever-expanding rear.